Hello and welcome to the 247 Sports YouTube channel. We have a lot of exciting things going on today, but before we get there, a reminder to go ahead and hit that like button so we know that you're watching, and make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. That is the only way you can be a part of the chat, which, according to some of these messages right now, is the best place to talk some smack with some fellow fan bases. So you want to make sure you are a part of that. Also, it's the only way to guarantee that you do not miss the fun things that happen on the 247 Sports YouTube channel. So be sure to hit that subscribe button as well. But the reason that we are here today is to bring you the live commitment of four-star wide receiver Keelen Adams. He is set to join us here in just a couple of seconds. But before we bring him in, I want to introduce the prospect to you, tell you a little bit more about him. Here is his profile. He's a four-star wide receiver, top 247 player. He is the 5th ranked player in the state of Virginia, the number 30 overall wide receiver in the country. He comes to us out of Green Run High School in Virginia Beach. These are the programs fighting for him. You got Alabama, Ohio State, Pittsburgh, South Carolina, and Virginia Tech. So without further ado, let's welcome in the man of the hour, hanging out with some of his family members, but is on this show now. So happy to have you here, Keelan. You went on lots of visits. You talked to coaches, players. You did the whole thing. What were some important factors to you as you get ready to make your decision here?
I'd say education first was definitely the biggest thing for me. Football was the second part to it.
All right. Who would you like to thank? I see you've got some people beside you. I saw before we went live here, there's all sorts of people cheering you on and giving you a high five. So who would you like to thank before you make your announcement?
Definitely these two right here, because they do the most for me.
Who are these two right here? Would you like to introduce us to them?
This is my mom, and this is my stepfather.
I love it. All right. I'm sure they are excited to hear your announcement. A lot of people watching right now are excited to hear. So let's waste no more time. Keelan, where are you headed?
All right. So first, I want to thank all y'all for coming out here and supporting me. First, I want to thank God. Without him, I wouldn't be up here on the stage saying what I'm saying. I want to thank my mom, my steppops for doing everything they do for me. They made a lot of sacrifices for me to be here. I want to thank my siblings. When times get rough, I go to them. They always make sure I'm straight and get back on the right path. I want to thank Coach Willie, Coach Kadeen, Coach Des, and Coach Paul for the Mustangs for helping me start my football career early. I want to thank Coach Will and Coach Q, because a lot of boys don't have a male figure to look up to. I'm just blessed and thankful to have more than one. They helped me be a great player and a better person. I want to thank all the coaches that supported me and recruited me throughout this whole process and having interest in me and believing that I could change their program. But at the end of the day, I can only make one decision and pick one school. So with that being said, where are we going? For the next 3 to 4 years, I'll be taking my talents to Virginia Tech.
I love it. Keelan Adams chooses Virginia Tech, the in-state school. Huge congratulations to you, Keelan. I got to ask, what stood out about Brent Pry and the program that he's building that led to your decision today?
Definitely Coach Pry. He's a family man. I feel like that's important because for a lot of athletes, it's their first time being out on their own. So being away from family, so having that family atmosphere where you're at, I feel like that's important to make it feel like home.
Speaking of family, you got 2 family members beside you, and I'm sure many more excited about this decision. How much did how much did staying home and playing nearby? Look at all of them there. How did that factor into your decision?
It factored a lot because I want to be close to them, so I can still be around them as much as I can whenever I can.
I'm sure they're very excited about this. All right, I'm not going to keep you long. Just one more question because we have a lot of happy Hokies in the chat right now. Speak to them. What kind of player and what kind of person are they getting?
I'm a good player, but I feel like I'm a better person. So I guess we'll see when I get there.
We'll see when you get there, Keelan. We are so excited for you. A huge congratulations, and thank you for allowing us to be a part of it.
Thank you.
All right, the celebration will begin, but we want to continue to talk about what this means for a rebuilding Hokies program. So let's bring in national recruiting analyst Brian Doan to talk a little bit more about this commitment. Brian, first and foremost, how did Brent Pry pull this off and land Keylen Adams?
Yeah, I think they made it a priority to recruit not only Virginia, but the 757, which used to be, that used to be a stronghold. And they want to get back to those Michael Vick days where kids came out of the 757 just wanting to be a Hokie. And relationships, Fontel Mines, the receivers coach, did a great job of getting on Keylen early in the process. I know the staff is new there, but Fontel has known the family for a while. And for me, you look at it, the proximity which he mentioned is important to him. You saw how many people came up and joined him after the announcement. He wants to play in his home state. I spoke with him about it maybe 2 days ago, and he was talking about, hey, there's a lot of opportunities on the field. There's a lot of opportunities in the offense. You're close to home. And also, hey, we're in the NIL world, and he thinks that there's a part of it also that being a home state kid could have some success in that realm also.
Absolutely. So you see the measurables, 6'1", great size, 175. It comes across when you watch him on tape. So what kind of impact can he make for this team when he arrives on campus?
Yeah, I'm not a big believer for most freshmen that they're going to come in and have a huge impact because it's such a huge jump. But I think he can get in there and see a lot of reps early September next year just because of his route running. His ball skills are great. After the catch, he doesn't waste a lot of movements, but he's elusive. You're talking about a kid who scored a touchdown about 1 every 3 times he caught the ball in high school, which, look, you want him to dominate, but that goes beyond that. He's just phenomenal. He's a workaholic. And I first met him, I think he was after his 8th grade year going into 9th grade that summer at a camp, and North Carolina had offered at the time. And sometimes you're wondering, I wonder how good these offers are, how legit they are. But with him, I always thought it was because I had watched him work out. And as you saw, Emily, he's a pretty low-key guy, but he's also a very mature kid in the sense that he knows the work that it's going to put in. And I don't know if he's going to go out and do a lot of celebrating. I see him celebrating by going out and running some routes today, to be honest.
I can agree with that just based on talking to him before he came on. He was just ready to have this decision. I know as his parents were excited about it as well. So you talk about the efficiency, the size. It seems that he has everything that you need. Brent Pry, you mentioned all the various area codes that you threw at me, the importance of him kind of locking down the state of Virginia. But as he really looks to rebuild this Hokies program and kind of bring him back to some of those glory days, how important is a win like this to really lock down this state?
Yeah, it's huge because I was talking to Evan Watkins at VT Scoop this morning, and we were going over just in terms of some of the big names in the state who maybe left before he came. And I think this is the highest rated in-state player in 4 years. And, if Virginia Tech is going to make a step, you need players like this. They will help. He's well known throughout the state. Green Run is a place that is always producing talent. And so having a relationship there, he mentioned awesome job at Green Run. So having the connections to the 757 is important. Also being able to recruit Richmond. You have to recruit in the state. You have to get good players. They started doing it in mass last class. I think they signed 13 in-state players, and it's mind-numbing to think a few years ago the former coach signed 1 in-state player from Virginia. So a lot of those roads, they needed to be either rebuilt or maintained a little bit better. And I think this is just something that pushes it along. It's a really good step. It's an important step. And I think it's one that maybe not in the 24 class because we're so far along in it, but they're looking at Chris Cole and Eric Mensah, 2 in-state kids also. But in the 25 and 26 class is where something like this could really make a big impact.
I love it. Hopefully this is just the start for this program. The college football world is a better place when Vatek is rocking and rolling. Brian, thank you so much.
Hey, thanks, Emily.
All right, that'll do it here. Thank you for joining us for this exciting commitment. Big win for Virginia Tech today, landing Keelen Adams, the 4-star wide receiver out of the state of Virginia. One more reminder on the way out to go ahead and hit that like button. Also subscribe to the channel because this is the first of many commitments that we have going over the weekend. Also, be sure to tune in to the College Football Recruiting Show later this afternoon at 5 o'clock Eastern. I'm Emily Proud. Thanks again for joining us.